We look alive.
Do we?
Galaxy of Heroes. Well, yeah, it just says Galaxy of Heroes. Yep.
Cool. All right.
Are you a fan of Star Wars? Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? What about beer? If so, this may be the podcast for you.
Brick,
Yeah?
you're talking like that again.
Well, we are cutting an introduction for our podcast.
Do you think we should maybe crack a beer first?
I shouldn't.
Do it. Welcome to episode 39 of Galaxy of Heroes. I am Darth Darkett.
And I am Rick Hardmeat. I say we listen to Palpatine. I mean, when a Sith Lord tells you to do something, you should do it.
Do it.
See what I did there, guys?
That's right. I like it.
What are we drinking today?
We are drinking a couple different beers from Rockford Brewing, and Rockford Brewing is a brewery in the west side of Michigan, kind of out in the kind of Grand Rapids area. I found this one because mostly I love their logo. Their logo is a fly, like for fly fishing. So
Oh yeah.
that was the first thing that attracted me to this brewery. And it's also a place that I've been to before. So I was like, hey, they got a brewery now. I got to check it out. I was in this city prior to 2011 when they initially were established. So I missed out last time I was there, but we're going to jump into our first one, which I think is their flagship beer. It's called Hop Lust.
Okay.
It's got an awesome label on it. It is a heart that's dripping with blood, but it's a hop heart. Pretty cool.
Hop Heart.
Let's crack her
Cheers.
open. Got a little bit of beer on the mic there.
Hey, that's my mic, man.
It's actually the screen, the windscreen mostly that's on, so I think the mic is protected.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's got a good
You
aroma
got
on it.
beer. You got beer in my gooseneck.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Oh yeah, that's nice.
that is nice.
It's definitely bitter. It's got a good bouquet of hops. It's very well balanced, I would say. This one they say is an intensely hoppy, handcrafted American IPA. There are 6 hop varieties that boldly infuse throughout the brewing process. It expresses their passion for hops. It gives you a fresh hop with a nose that's bursting with tropical citrus flavors on the palate. It is 7.1% and 70 IBUs. Very, I would say, easy drinking IPA. It's a solid one. I would give this a good 5.5 stars out of 7.
Ooh, 5.5. That's not even in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. You just made up a rating system. I like it.
5 and omegas.
I'm a purist. I'm a purist. I'm going 5. I do
Yeah.
like it. It's good. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good beer.
It is good.
I
you-
like Rockford. I went fishing there before.
Did you fish
The,
near the dam?
It was downstream from the dam, I believe.
Okay.
It was
on the route. On the Rouge?
You know, I know everybody comes here again for the fishing commentary, so I'm here to oblige. The people want it. I'm going to give it to them. All 3 people in the chat, here you go. Eat your heart out. Brick Hard story. Brick Hard fish. So I used to go salmon fishing. Well, rainbow trout fishing. I'm sorry, not salmon. Wow, I was telling a fisherman's tale. I used to go rainbow trout fishing, and I went with these guys I used to work with, and they're just like hardcore fishermen. Like,
Oh, yeah.
they would be in waders. I bought the whole get up. I've got like 2 different poles for fishing, like not fly fishing. This is drift fishing. So you're drifting, you're throwing your line upstream, and then it drifts down, and you're trying to catch something. Well, we started this trip in Grand Rapids proper, right in downtown Grand Rapids, which is like a big city in Michigan.
Yep.
But it's kind of cool because normally we were fishing off these little streams like the Au Sable River on the east side of the state, and But on the west side in Grand Rapids, it's this huge river. I mean, it's the Grand River. It's fucking massive.
Yeah.
And you're right downtown, literally downtown. There's people jogging right by you, like very busy. You can literally see the highway goes right over the river, and so it's cool. You're like fishing, but you're not really in not really in nature. You're downtown. So we fished there, and then we immediately went to Rockford because that was close by. I don't even know the name of the river, but we fished. It was late. It was really late. We were fishing like at night, basically, and I slept on the riverbed and woke up and fished more. So that's my
Nice.
Rockford fishing
It's
story.
either the Rogue
Didn't
River or the
catch
Rouge
shit.
River because
I think
I
it's
read it as the
Rogue.
Rouge River. It makes more sense because it's spelled Rogue, and I read it as Rouge first, and I'm like, nobody fishes in the Rouge River here, so I can't imagine it's any better out there if there is one. So yeah, I think it's the Rogue River. Yep.
Okay.
So a little more on this
Boski's in
brewery
the
before
chat.
we move.
Sorry.
Nice. What up,
He
Boski?
said.
Spice
He
Den in the
said.
house.
He's been fishing in the great state of Michigan. There's a lot of fishing
Hey,
here. So I
good fishing.
wonder where he fished.
Just don't fish now. You're not allowed out of your house to do anything, especially fishing.
Oh gosh.
You don't want to infect the
I
fish.
can't buy tomato seeds. God damn it! What kind of country am I living in here? All right.
Were you
anyway,
Were you in Lansing for the protests?
Oh, of course. Man. I got my AK-47. I love conflating this pandemic for Second Amendment rights. That's my favorite thing to do.
Got to make it about me, man.
Yeah, man. You can't take my gun away. What?
Let me give a little bit more. Yeah, let me give more about Rockford Brewing before we go down this political end.
We've lost all viewers at this point.
RBC, which is Rockford Brewing Company, has a rich history steeped in celebrating quality, community, and culture. Along with serving as the hometown brew pub for Rockfordians, RBC has become a destination for lovers of outdoor recreation, cyclists, fishermen, runners, and kayakers, and beyond. The kitchen and RBC opened in the fall of 2016 and immediately brought a new level of recognition to the company. They've won several honors for beer, food, and culture throughout West Michigan publications, but most notably in 2017, the brewery was named as the best small brew pub and brewer in the nation from the Great American Beer Festival. RBC's footprint in the Michigan beer scene has grown exponentially in recent years with 7 mainstay brands, including the one that we're drinking right now, and several others. The only 2 that I could find in our area was this one, Hop Lust and Bloodlust, which we'll drink a little bit later. But definitely recommend it if you are in the Michigan area. I don't know if they distribute outside of Michigan though. So TBA.
Darkid's voice just went real deep again.
Did it?
You got that Barry White voice, but that's okay.
Man, we'll see. We'll see if it records right. Hopefully it does.
Yeah. Well, good to know. You know, let's hop into some boosting beers. People they're wanting.
They want to know. They want to know what we've been doing, what we've been boosting, what we've been boasting.
Exactly.
What
you've been boosting,
beering.
what you've been boasting, what you've been beering.
I will say on the beering end, I had a couple of these the other day to kind of like prepare myself for the episode because you gotta study up and you gotta prep, So I had a couple of these beforehand, and
you're very studious.
The first, yeah, exactly. The first beer that I had was not one of theirs. It was Short's Humalupalicious, which is a very in-your-face, super bitter IPA. And then when I drank these, I'm like, yeah, they're good. I like them. They're easy drinking. I can't really taste any of the hops on it. And then when I had one earlier today with dinner, I was like, oh, this tastes way better now that my palate wasn't completely ruined by the Humalupalicious. So,
right.
That was my beer experience of the week. Don't drink a very heavy.
I had a sober. I wish I had some beer. I was assembling a couple of kitchen or picnic tables, an adult one and a kid one, and it would have been nice to have some.
Yeah,
some dad beers.
I saw those on the Insta.
On the gram.
How'd that go?
It went good. It was pretty easy. Menards sells these really easy to put together pre-cut wood picnic tables, and they're cheap. And I think we got both of them brand new for like $100. And just stained it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna seal it, and it'll be done. It'll be waterproof and should be last a really long time. But it was fun, really easy. If anybody's looking for some cheap patio furniture or something, or picnic table of some sort, came out pretty nice. Again, I know
They
people are
look
here to talk
they look
about
good.
picnic tables and fishing and everything but Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, but
That's really what we should have live streamed, is you staining and watching the stain dry.
oh man, literally watching stain dries. That's good
Yeah.
entertainment there.
Yeah, man.
So what you boost and boast? Heard about your beers.
It's the same basic things that I've been doing. So I think
Yeah,
I
when we
had
do weekly
Padme.
podcasts, it's
Yeah, there's not much you can accomplish really.
no.
But I did finish off Padme Relic 7 to go along with my R7 Anakin and my R7 Kenobi.
Nice.
I actually took C3PO out in Arena and put my R7 Grandmaster Yoda in, and that's been working well.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
as soon as
used
he
for the
runs his
Galactic Republic, yeah.
yeah, as soon as he runs his buffs up, it auto taunts General Kenobi, which is really what you want him to do the whole time, is keep taunting and keep taking all the licks from Malik and Marauder when they're running. So now it's just down to one more gear piece for Ahsoka. I'm 38 out of 50 right now on one of the HoloLens things that you can only get with ship energy.
Okay.
But I should have her done to gear 13 at least by the time this episode drops. So I'll have a fully gear 13, partially relict Galactic Republic team. And that's been doing a lot of good for me in Squad Arena. I'm up to about 110 overall. That's kind of where I've been sitting. I jumped into the top 100 briefly. It didn't last too long. Most of it is a sea of Malik's, with Darth Revan. So my Geos are also kind of my side farm, trying to get them all up to gear 12 for the next time we do Dark Side Geo. So I gear 12 Geo Soldier and Sunfok. That also boosts the ships a little bit for me. And then last but not least, I activated Hermit Yoda finally. I had him 7-starred for a while, but not really actually activated. So I got him up to gear 10 today, and I'm excited to try him out in the tank raid. See if I can get that Jedi squad running. It's a little less work than the Resistance squad that I've been running so far, because that P1 is a little bit of work to get all the confuses on with C3PO. So I'd like to try the Jedi squad a little bit. How was your week? Your boost and beers?
So no beers, but boosts. Really, it seems like I didn't do a goddamn thing. This really is a testament to how long it takes to grind Magna Guard, Droidica, and B2 simultaneously.
Yeah, those droids are tough.
B2 needs from gear 11 to gear 12. He needs 100 stun guns for me. I don't know if he needed more before that, but that's all I'm counting at this point. And 100 carbonities. Magna Guard needs 50 more stun guns just to get from gear 9 to gear 10. And who the fuck knows what else he needs from gear 10 to gear 12. But I'm hoping, I'm making progress, I guess. This is where all my energy is going. My regular energy outside of refreshing the commander shuttle once to get that, or to get Kylo Ren's Kylo Ren's command shuttle.
Yep.
I just refresh that node twice, and then all the rest of my energy goes to gear regular energy anyway. But I'm getting, I don't know, it seems like I'm getting pretty good stun gun drops, as good as they can be. It is really nice that Carbantes are now coming with the daily bundle, or the daily events. Or they can drop in the daily challenges. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's nice. I wish they would do that with the relevant stun guns, but they probably won't.
Yes, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, it's just so stupid, man. Everybody needs.
I always wonder, did they just tag the wrong one? Like, did you guys make a mistake and just not remember that, like, that's not the one that we actually need?
Right. I just, at this point, when they continue to get these questions in the Q&A, about, how can we alleviate the gear crunch? I'm like, what gear crunch are you talking about? It's like, come on, man.
Yeah,
Sure, you could bury your head in the sand, but we need stun
out of your
guns. You
mind.
guys made everybody need stun guns, so this is all on you.
Mhm.
But yeah, so really just chipping away at that grind, hoping to be ready for gas when it comes around. Um, we'll see. I don't know at this point. Um,
Yeah.
the only real boost I did was I put a third Zeta on JTR or second
Okay.
Zeta. I don't know. I have all of her Zetas now, and I
Yeah.
honestly don't remember which one it was, but I know that it's important. I was
It
dying
was one of them.
prematurely in heroic, uh, the heroic Sith raid. I was
Yeah.
dying prematurely a few times and just got annoying. And my JTR squad was just a little more squishy than I'd like in um, when I was using her in PvP scenarios.
Yeah.
So whatever I gave her increases her health and protection regeneration. So
Nice.
I don't really care. It's a great Zeta. The guys on the Gambit podcast said it's a good Zeta, so or necessary Zeta. So I didn't research it any more than that.
I am not the person to ask on Zetas. I just throw whatever on. I'm like, yeah, cool. I do have
Yeah,
all three
I
on
was
her, and she is very reliable. So I would say it's a good
yeah.
one to have. All of them are good to have on her.
She's one of the best characters in the game. She's
Yep.
to be that important in the Sith raid. It's having a solid P1 team, and then also, using her in territory war. I mean, she's reliable. I think that's the best adjective to use for her. You know what she can do, and just have a great synergy with the. I mean, I'm
Have you
speaking
used
about
her
something
in
that's
the hat raid from like to try to solo?
yeah, the hat raid I don't participate in much. I just put all my eggs into the heroic Sith raid basket.
Yeah.
Um, but I have a few times. I think I soloed. I want to say like P3 through P2 or something with them.
Yeah.
And they're not great by any means. Like I don't have.
Okay.
They're all just gear 12, and some of them aren't even
Yeah.
gear 12. I don't think. I don't think Finn's gear 12 or R2. So, but
Yeah.
if I paid more attention, that'd be another use for her as well.
You should give it a try.
Yeah, I don't. The rewards aren't that great for it, but
Yeah,
honestly,
they're not.
The heroic Sith raid rewards have been terrible. I've been in like the top 5 in the last 2, and I'm not getting fully crafted pieces. I'm just getting a bunch of shit I don't need. It's annoying.
I was
Put in the
in
time.
8th or 9th in the last one that we just got rewards on this morning, and I got a fully
Mm-hmm.
crafted wristband or whatever those things are that can salvage totally into not the heat sink, but the one that's right after that. And I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude, that's awesome."
Mine, that's great. Mine were bad. I actually screenshotted it. I think So I got no fully crafted anything. Like when you look at the icons,
Hmm.
nothing I got was in my favorites, and I have probably I don't know 10 characters or more in there who all
Yeah,
desperately need gear. And
yeah,
I got 16 of some type of a yellow, a Mark 5 something. It's like, oh, thanks guys. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
glad I came in third and got that. That's
Right.
great. But hey, whatever. Just RNG, I guess.
Somebody else was saying the same thing, and they were in the top 5, and they got garbage in the guild. I wonder if it was like just a bad drop.
Yeah. Hey, I
Got to
guess
get in there between
just
11 and 18 is the sweet spot, man.
apparently, yeah. I mean, it's got to be it's just RNG, I guess, because I've got some good stuff out of there before. But all right, and then we're gonna talk about Grand Arena Championships and the hard meet. So
We are.
I guess we can hop over to the hard meet.
Let's do it. Get some meat
While we can.
while we can before the meat shortages hit in.
Yep.
I'm pretty excited. Unfortunately, we didn't get the full kit release, but my meat's really hard because we got some Mandalorian characters coming to the game, and I don't know if you saw which two, but the two sexiest ones of all, Grief Karga
Grief
and
Karga.
of course our beloved Cara Dune.
The Sweet Angel, Cara Dune, aka Gina Carano.
I made sure to tag Gina Carano in the story, and
Oh,
although she
nice.
didn't didn't repost it, she did view it. So
Thank you,
hey,
Gina.
I'm taking that as a win. She viewed it.
Gina has to be watching the stream right now. I mean, there's nothing she would rather do than watch us drink beer and talk about her in
Absolutely.
an inappropriate manner for 10 minutes.
At some point, we're gonna get blocked from her account, and we're no longer gonna be able to tag her. It'll be like you're restricted.
Right. These fucking creeps, these
Yeah.
dipshit nerds keep tagging me and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, so there was a State of the Galaxy on April 15th for the uninitiated. CG put out Top Hat, put out a State of the Galaxy, and really, in the context of where the game is at, I think the community overall is kind of eager to get something, since Galactic Legends were released. Slevin's here. What's up, Slevin?
Slavoon.
So we, really the content has been slow to come out since Galactic Legends came out. So yeah, they're dropping the Mandalorian characters. Grief Karga, Cara Dune, and the Mandalorian himself,
Din Djarin.
So kind of cool. We got some insight from CG, but also we did get got some more info from StarWars.com. So I'll go through this real quick, just kind of what they wrote up about the characters. But Grief Karga, we wanted to capture his calculating nature as the boss of the Bounty Hunters Guild. For the gameplay side of things, Grief brings some support to the attacker heavy Bounty Hunter squad, which is cool. Hopefully, I think they mentioned that he may be a leader, or they did say that he was leader in the Star Wars post, right?
Yes. Actually, no. He's not a leader.
Okay,
he's support. Yep.
Okay. So we are experimenting with him interacting with bounty hunter payouts as a fairly potent leader for the squad. Oh yeah, fairly potent leader for the squad.
Really? It doesn't even show
details.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe and that's one thing that I've heard speculated too is like, don't really know how far along they are with the creation of these characters and kind of hashing out the details. This may just be a huge tease, and we might not see these characters for months and months, but that would be annoying. But they may start kind of like they may be trickling out these characters, like, oh, here's 3, and then, in a couple weeks they may go, oh yeah, and then here, IG-11 and our boy
Din.
What's that?
Queel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, these 2 are going to drop on Wednesday, so.
Slevin says this feels like desperation from CG. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely make that argument. It does seem kind of rushed because even in previous posts that they've made, they didn't say that Mandalorian was coming out anytime soon.
It would have made more sense for these to come out right before season 2 hit, or like exactly. When season 2 hit. Like it's not promoting anything right now. It's kind of an odd schedule, unless they're trying to release the child for the release of the season. That's a really long drawn out thing.
Yeah. And I don't know what type of event too. I guess that depends as well. Are they going to make this a legendary event or a marquee? Like how potent are these characters?
Yeah.
But let's read more about the details and then keep going. So, but we think, so they said, we're still working out the details about Grief Karga, but we think he's going to help hand out a few more bounty pucks, which is nice, of course, from the show. If you watch it, he's always handing out those pucks. And then Cara Dune, she fought as a shock trooper during the rebellion in the New Republic until she reinvented herself as a mercenary for hire. There's no question she can hold her own as a hard-to-kill rebel and scoundrel hiding from the Empire in the backwaters of the far edge of the galaxy. As far as her role in Galaxy of Heroes, Cara is shaping up to be an additional tank for rebel squads, but can also provide scoundrel teams with an additional damage dealer. It's kind of weird, but not uncommon in Galaxy of Heroes because, JTR is a tank, quote unquote, and puts out some pretty good damage. We also want to represent her hatred for the Imperials with some anti-Empire flavor to her kit. And the
Like it.
models look pretty good.
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty much
Um,
spot on for Gina Carano.
yeah. And of course, Din Djarin, the Mandalorian. This mysterious man of few words works as a bounty hunter at the far edge of the galaxy. No one really knows where he came from or how he's so well equipped for battle, but few question his ability to bring in a target, whether shooting from the hip with his blasters or using his Ambin sniper rifle to disintegrate his enemies. The Mandalorian is always prepared to take on anything that gets in his way.
Hmm.
So they're saying we'll have more to share on characters from the Mandalorian series as we get closer to their release date. So there is definitely more forthcoming, which is good.
Well, the release
Next
date
month
is
they
in
are doing a road ahead too.
yeah, release date is in 36 hours. So I was hoping we would
Yeah.
have more info about these guys from CG themselves, but all we really got was the StarWars.com release today, which basically highlights some of the things. You get that kind of iconic artwork that comes with the new characters for the game. We posted both of the shots of Grief Karga and Cara Dune on our Instagram, so if you haven't seen them yet, they're there.
Yeah, and if you're
The
not
only
following our
things,
Instagram, you're sleeping on
what are
it.
you doing? Yeah. The only things that are like really different for either one of these is it gives you a little bit of like insight into like what their kits will do and how they'll work together. So Grief Karga is light side, not sure why. Support Bounty Hunter Scoundrel. He gains bonuses when allied and enemy bounty hunters gain payouts, like you said. Also, like you said, he can call all bounty hunters to assist, but he does provide substantial recovery and support for bounty hunters. So hopefully that gives some health additives there. And synergizes with allies that have their payouts active. Synergy suggestions are Boba, Dengar, Greedo, Jango Fett, Embo, and Bosk. And then obviously the other two that we're talking about here from the Mandalorian, Din Djarin, but they're just labeling it as him as the Mandalorian, not Din Djarin, and Cara
Yeah.
Dune. And then Din Djarin will be the leader of the squad, I guess, if you use him that way. And then go ahead.
Oh, nothing.
Okay,
was
Cara
looking at the
Dune
chat.
is also light side. She has a rebel tag, a scoundrel tag, and is a tank. There's not a whole lot more that you didn't say, but she does self-revive if defeated when potency up is active. So you might want to get some a leader in there that helps get potency up because she will self-revive. And I'm not sure, I have to look through some kits to see which leaders might help do that or might spread that around. And then you already mentioned that she has anti-Empire synergies. They suggest that you can run her in a rebel squad with Rolo, Akbar, CLS. They have Hera in here, C3PO. It looks like Jyn Erso.
Yeah.
And then
It's been a while to see
Scoundrels.
how
Really, any of the
she
Scoundrels.
synergizes with Hera,
Jyn Erso.
Phoenix.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
weird.
I don't understand what the deal is there. It would be cool,
Interesting to see.
though,
The
if
Rebels definitely need another tank.
they definitely do. Like, I would love to see what she can do and then, like, work her up in my Rebel squad. Because sometimes you don't really need some of those support characters there as much, depending on what you're doing. You
Yeah.
just want somebody to absorb some hits and maybe put some damage out. Like, I mean, R2 is great, but sometimes it's kind of a waste of a character, if you don't
Yeah.
need that kind of a situation. Same thing with C3PO. Like, he's great, but like sometimes you just need the extra like attack mechanisms. So
Yeah, that's a good point. Like those characters are very. It seems like there are quite a lot of rebel characters that are very support oriented and kind of do behind the scenes things, like Akbar too. He's really not.
yeah,
He's kind of a healer, but more of a cleansing, character. He doesn't do a lot of damage, but I agree. I think that's really awesome that they added Cara Dune, and the tags are interesting too. She's going to be a tank damage dealer potentially, so that gives you a little more versatility with rebels. But also the scoundrel tag is interesting because
yeah.
there are some really interesting characters in the scoundrel faction that I
It's
think
a
they
good
get
faction.
neglected. I know I've heard so many good things about it, but it's just when you're looking at the wide range of factions to grind, it's like, am I really gonna go balls deep on scoundrels? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's tough.
They're
But
good
we'll
on
see. I
defense
think
for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even like at the higher end, that's a gas counter with some scoundrels. Having
Yeah.
Vandor Chewbacca in there, and
Stormtrooper
really,
Han.
yeah. So we'll see.
I don't know how
like,
it works. I
Greef
just heard people say those things.
I don't either. Yeah, I've heard those words together, and
and gas.
there's a content creator, Clash, who has a Discord server for Scoundrels, and he runs it and puts out a lot of videos. I think he is the one that pioneered in collaboration with other people that gas counter with Vandor Chewbacca and Stormtrooper Han. But I'm sure he's super stoked that getting another Scoundrel in the game. And Greef Karga too. Greef Karga is going to have that tag as well. So who knows how that would fit in. We'll see.
So these characters are going to drop on 22nd, Greef and Kara, and then I think the week after is when the Mandalorian is going to drop.
Oh, so that is when they're coming out, April 22nd.
22nd, yes, for sure. Wednesday, we're getting, I would assume, marquee events for those two, and then I'm not exactly sure how they're going to approach the Mandalorian one. Some kind of paywall, I would assume.
Yeah, in the chat, Boski made a good point. He thinks that it's part of a big PR push. For Mando across the board as of late. Thinks that maybe like coming up to May the 4th, that Big Papa Disney told CG what they needed to do on this one, which I think is probably true. I mean, CG seems like they have their head up their ass quite a bit, so maybe they got to push from up top. Hey, come on, let's put out some stuff. You guys run this little game for us. This is Star Wars. Let's stop fucking around.
Disney Plus is dropping subscribers. We need to get some people up.
Yeah, right, exactly. But so yeah, we got some more info on those characters, so that's cool. The 22nd they'll come out. What do you think requirement wise? What are you thinking is going to be needed for one or more of these characters? I mean, do you think they will just be the standard, they come out and you have to grind you don't. I think you don't really grind them. You just have the marquee event, and then eventually they become grindable.
6 months later, then you can grind them. Maybe that's the thing, is they want you to have them pay for them for a while, and then maybe like I can see Baby Yoda, the child, being like the legendary event, and that's going on like right before the season starts, and like you would have had 2 weeks to grind on nodes, but you would have had your normal 2 or 3 months where you can buy them with dollar bills, your Trump bucks, your crystals or whatever. That's what I'm calling them. It's like Shroot bucks from The Office.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
What's the exchange rate on these? I mean, that's 0.001 penny.
Yeah, man, you got to spend those Trump bucks wisely, and I don't see any other better expenditure of those Trump bucks than virtual shit in a Star Wars mobile game. I mean, show me a better way to spend your money. Show me.
CG is obviously a small business. They're struggling.
Right. They need help. They only made a few million last quarter. Come on.
Shut up and give me your money.
Exactly. I think here's my bold ass prediction, as they say. I think that Jawas are going to be needed for something. I don't know who.
Ugh.
Because there's no CG. If history has told us anything, it's not going to be easy to get these characters. They're going to say, okay, they're going to use analytics. They're going to look at the data. Like, okay, what faction does nobody give a shit about? Jawas. They might throw a Tusken in there too, because there's a Tusken in Mandalorian. They might.
R7.
I don't know. Right. That's tough. That's tough. I don't know if it'll be. I don't know if it'll be Tuskens, but I think I could believe Jawas being.
Yeah, I can
They're
see
similar to the
Jawas.
Geonosians. There's 5 of them. Maybe I don't know. Maybe there's more. I don't fucking know. They're Jawas. I don't give a shit. Um, but there's at least 5 of them,
There's
and
there's
maybe
5 different Jawas in this game.
I think so. There's
Prove it.
Scavenger, Dacha, or Dacha. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Nobody cares.
I'm out
They'll
of
blow
ideas.
the
I got 2 out of the.
they'll blow the shit out of those bugs though. Like you ever see those videos in GAC like
Oh yeah,
matchups
yeah,
where like
dude.
they just like blow them out of the water? It's nuts.
Oh yeah, yep. Geos will be. They had their time in the sun. Goodbye.
We didn't.
Now
Maybe we
people
didn't
are.
watch the.
Yeah.
We didn't watch the Mandalorian credits close enough. Maybe CG Crumb was actually one of the writers on that episode. He's like, I know how we can make people grind Jawas. We'll make a whole episode about Suga or whatever.
Hey guys, listen. They go to this fucking stupid planet. They find these Jawas, right? And they want them to find an egg. What do you say? And then we can put them in the game. What do you think?
So the event will be
Sure.
called like the Ultimate Omelet or something.
Right. Absolutely. That's hilarious. Yeah, I think Jawas will be involved. I wouldn't be surprised. I also, of course,
Yeah, I can see
I don't
it.
know what they're going to do with Ugnaught. I mean, I imagine, I don't imagine you would need Ugnaught, but Krill or Queel, I say Krill, Queel is a Ugnaught. So I don't know if he's just going to, I would imagine he's probably a standalone character. I don't know.
Yeah. I can see them
We'll see.
releasing more characters, like every month there's 2 new marquees. And then we have 2 weeks to grind them out before the legendary event that comes around every 6 months.
Yeah. Right. I mean, that's possible. It is interesting though. There's no like Mandalorian tag or anything that they've shown so far. Just kind of
Yeah.
like these are new characters, and the tags are just kind of general. But
I mean, they have added tags in post before, like the 501st came around out of nowhere, and that you could tag a bunch of characters. Mandalorian, you could tag Sabine, obviously Jango and Boba. Gar Saxon.
Yeah, and it depends too what the leadership, whichever leader you're using, whether that's going to be Din Djarin or if maybe they were just speaking about Grief Karga being a leader in a just maybe like a passive sense, not necessarily an actual in-game leader slot character, but depends what those kits look like and what kind of tags they affect. Because if we've learned anything from CG's character creation and kit creation, the faction tags are very important and can make or break how a team works. So we'll see.
I just think they shouldn't have used the word leader, because as that being a major archetype for the game, like they should have probably not included that in the article if they weren't going to give him that tag, because he's just support.
Yeah. Okay, I guess we could hop into it now. Do you have your Mando kits pulled up that we
Hell yeah, I have my Mando kits. I carry them everywhere with me. Anybody who says Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes and they even say man, I'm like, do you want to see my kits?
Can I show you my kits? Because way back in episode 31 of Galaxy of Heroes, and we had Faye 34 of the Holotable News Network on our show, we theorized what kits would look like for the Mandalorian. And this is before any of this was announced that they were going to put him in the game. We all theorized that, or suspected that they would eventually make their way into the game, but we made up our own kits of what we thought these characters would what their kits would look like, and what they would be like if they were in Galaxy of Heroes. So how did yours land? Were any of them close to the mark? Or
I mean, since we don't know what they're going to actually do, I do have Din Djarin as a leader. I do have Cara Dune as a tank.
Far as what exactly what they've shown so far, like what you as close as you can get. I mean, obviously we don't have the
Right.
kits, but just
Grief Karga has as an attacker. Honestly, now that they say support does make more sense because he doesn't really do a whole lot attack wise.
Yeah.
Besides just drinking spotchka.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think the tank thing for Cara Dune kind of makes sense, and then Din Djarin is the leader. But like mine is so specific, there's not really a way to like go back and see if I like nailed it yet or not. So
yeah. I mean, mine were somewhat. I mean, some of them were on the mark, I guess, but the disintegration special for Din Djarin, I said that there would be a special number 2 called Disintegration, and it's in use of his disruptor rifle.
Yep.
Which they did mention, but I mean, that's pretty on the nose. You would think that they would get that rifle involved, but Cara Dune, I remember us speaking about it and thinking that she would be a good tank. She would be.
Yeah.
She has like tank capability. She's sturdy. She's strong. She's can take a punch. She's just tough. Has a grizzled war background. Pretty awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, that's basically. Oh, we got a podcast here. That's about really all I had for the Mando stuff. I do wonder though, like on the kit that I remember you theorizing. You had quite a lot for the kit for the different Mando kits that we briefly touched on, just due to having a guest on. It was just hard to get to everything and keep it interesting. But thanks a lot, Faith 34.
I mean, I thought it was interesting.
I thought it would have been interesting too, but
just having Faye sit there for 15 minutes while I talk about these stupid kits that are totally overpowered.
Exactly. It was hard. It's hard. That's one thing that we're learning as, I guess, podcast hosts. You're trying to speak in a way that's engaging to listen to for the listener. And then also, of course, you want the guest to be included in the conversation. And if there's anything that I think we could work on, it's probably involving the guests more, but it's hard. We're not trained in this stuff. We're just a couple of buddies with the podcast, but
that's right.
Hopefully it's entertaining. But I wonder how extensive they're gonna go with how many characters do you think they're gonna release from the Mandalorian series in the next, let's say, 5 months? Because when is Mando coming back? October?
Yeah, it will fall. I think it's October.
Okay. We'll say up until the release. So
I would assume they would put the 4 light side, whatever they're calling as light side, out there, and then maybe like while the season's going on, we get some of the dark side characters too, because they have to put like Moff Gideon in this game. Like he's awesome, especially with that last episode. I don't want to drop a bunch of spoilers if you haven't seen it. Like there's a ton of good stuff to put in there, and like you could even make them very versatile characters that can work in other teams too, because they've already set it up that like Grief Karga is going to be very versatile. Cara Dune is going to be versatile. Not sure on Din Djarin yet, but I'm sure he will be able to play in some other teams too. But I can see them having like all 5. Wait, I have 6. Maybe not IG-11. I'm not sure if they're going to include him, but I can definitely see them having Din Djarin, Cara Dune, Grief Karga, Queel, and the child, Baby Yoda.
Yeah,
it's always weird when you have a 6th character, like kind of in a team where it's like, what am I going to do with this one? It's like Phoenix with Sabine. It's like, what am I going to do with Sabine?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to. I mean, I guess we're just theorizing, but. The chat's pretty popping. Slevin said CG needs help like the Tigers need help. Ha ha ha. Yes, I am wearing a Detroit Tigers hat, and the Detroit Tigers are liquid dog shit or cat shit at this point. Thank God hopefully the season gets canceled so they could just continue to rack up prospects and then eventually be halfway decent. But no, I don't.
Yeah, the Detroit Tigers are kind of like Carol Baskin's Tigers. They're washed up. They're overpaid, overfed.
Yeah. No. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. They're definitely in a rebuilding phase. We'll see.
They're never
And
going to
then
financially recover from this.
no, they're not, and
Nope.
that's why they blew the whole thing up. You know, that's why they got rid of everybody. You know,
That's right.
which I'm glad they did personally as a Tigers fan. I'm glad that they didn't try to keep the band together. You know, JV went off, Verlander went off, won a World Series or two,
Cheated his way
and
through a World Series. What was that?
yeah, no, just one.
Okay.
But well, probably two. But yeah, whatever. You know, but you know, and all the players they had, their payroll was just stupid. It was
Yeah.
just absurd. Justin Upton, JD Martinez, you had to get rid of those guys. But anyway, once again, the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes podcast, the fishing, the picnic table building,
Tigers.
the Detroit
Subpar
Tigers.
MLB teams that aren't playing right now. That's what they come here for.
That is why you guys are here. And I like Slevin said they should update Ugnaught to Quill, which I agree. That would be cool.
Just change the name.
We don't need an Ugnaught. We don't need Ugnaught
No.
anymore. Just
No.
yeah, just tweak it. And then Boski said he wants the armorer in the game.
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah, the armor would be cool.
Yep. There's a lot of it's hard to fuck this up. I mean, there is a lot of good characters in that. You want another beer? Is that what you were aiming at? Sipping on water?
I just pulled mine out. Yeah. Pull my beer out.
All right. Let me go. Let me grab it.
Now, I didn't notice this before, but the label of this one I thought was just like blood orange with a bunch of trees around it. Because when I was drinking this last time, it was one of my later beers, my last beers of the night. But now that I'm a little bit more sober, I noticed that it is a knife. There's a knife there. Because it's blood orange, bloodlust. This is one of their other very popular beers from Rockford Brewing. It is a hazy IPA, which I know is a very popular one amongst the beer snobs out there. But if you're too much of a beer snob, you don't like it because it's too trendy. That's also a thing that is amongst the beer community, arguing whether or not the hazy IPAs are really as good as as the people say they are. But it's a hazy IPA.
Hazy IPAs are overblown. Personally,
what hazy
IPA?
Honestly, the hazy IPAs don't do well in my inside as well as regular ones do. That's the only reason I avoid them. But they do taste good, and I'll drink them. But the next day, I'm struggling.
My biggest aversion is the price tag to hazy IPAs for the most part.
Okay.
I'm just like, I don't know. Am I going to buy 4 tall boys for $23? I don't think so. No matter how good it is.
Yeah, probably not. These were only $12 for 6, so that's not bad. $2 a beer. Cheers.
Cheers, boys, and the bureaus out there and gals.
Definitely orangey. Not super hoppy though.
No. What's this called? Bloodlust.
This is called Bloodlust.
Oh, and I see they got a gnarly like a dagger or a military knife of a survival knife of some sort on it. You see that? It's not a tree.
Yeah.
Nice try. You thought
it was a
tree, bro. It's a knife.
I thought it was a tree. We'll have to get Loki to tell me what kind of blade this is, because he can like pick a blade out of anything.
That's a Marine's knife. No, I don't.
Yeah.
It's a knife.
It's a TK3963.
Right.
Whatever. All right. Back to hard meat.
Yeah, so back to some meat, bro. Okay, so
did you finish tier 6 of Supreme Leader Kylo Ren yet? Or
oh yeah, wrapped it up. I don't know why they sent this out, but
super easy.
No, they did post about the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren tier 6. The event, the tier 6 of that event being difficult, and they're basically just like CG Crumb came out and it's like, hey guys, try this. This gave a little more, I guess, some tips on how to get through it a little easier. So,
was his tips to buy the $100 mod pack?
Right. No, surprisingly not. I don't really. Some of these news. I mean, obviously we have a Galaxy of Heroes podcast, so we read this shit. But some of it's just like, is this even newsworthy? I mean, and I don't really even know how to interpret this. It's like, are you just saying like, we kind of made this event too hard. Maybe try this to make it easier. I mean, maybe they're just kind of throwing a bone. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of confused by this.
I glanced at it when it popped up, and I was like, "Yeah, this doesn't apply to me," so I'm gonna skip over this.
But here's some real news. This is what the people are here for. So they're accepting questions for a forthcoming Q&A, which will be live Thursday, the 23rd of April. So they're looking, for new questions. Now, what is absolutely astounding about this is, guess who they're going to have answering questions? They're going to have
CG Brick Hardmate.
CG Raging Spaniard. You know who that is?
Yeah, he's the art director, isn't he?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. More art. Senior artist. Okay? He's not a little pissant artist. He's the senior artist.
Is there a junior artist?
Oh, many junior artists. Apprentice.
There's 30 artists. Junior artists underneath.
There's at least 40 art apprentices.
There's CG Raging Portugalian. There's CG right. Frenchman. What else is over there? Yeah, Morocco is kind of close.
They're just chipping away at those countries over there. And then guess who else is going to be in attendance? AU, CG, AU, D10. Guess who that is? You know who that is. I mean, I don't have to have you guess.
Oh, he's the senior audio artist. He makes up all the Night Sisters screams.
They are just the audio artist, so not senior. There's somewhere.
There's audio in this game.
So, well, that's what I really love about it is that I exclusively play this game on mute, so I am thrilled that the audio artist is going to be there because I have a lot of questions. I have many questions. So many. I made.
How long has he been employed with the company? Like, there's nobody listens to the audio on this game. Maybe if we did turn the audio on, it gives you like all the secrets. It's like, use the special, use the basic.
Right. Well, yeah, exactly. It's like the voice in the game. Yeah. That's hilarious. Oh God. I didn't need them listed in the chat. They're just like, I think Top Hat, Miller, Cyanides, and Crumb are just like, I don't know who else can we bring along? Maybe
what are you doing Thursday?
Off of us. Right. Oh, nothing. You're the sound editor. Yeah, come on in. Yeah. We're gonna need you to come on in. You can Skype in. It's fine. It's going to be a virtual thing. People want to ask you a lot of questions because they just keep.
Honestly, if they played the Mandalorian theme song during the entire game for everything, I'd be like, yeah, that's an upgrade. I wouldn't notice because I had it on mute. I'd be like, cool, moving on.
Yeah, whatever. They're going to be there. So, you folks.
Yeah.
The senior artist, Raging Spaniard, needs a serious talking to. Ray, they have failed at all 3 iterations of Ray horribly. None of them look like her at all.
No.
I don't understand it. I mean, even just in the brief time I spent playing Disney Sorcerer's Arena, the graphics in that are pretty solid.
So much better
compared to and they're
when you go back,
they are cartoons, but I mean the animations are great. Yeah.
When you go back and forth between the games, it's like, wow, the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, just like the movements are so underwhelming compared to how fluid and like smooth the movements are on Sorcerer's Arena.
Yeah.
Now, at the same time, I don't care about the characters as much because I'm not a fucking child, but it's still it looks better.
No, it does. It does. I really noticed it. It was really distinctive today when I was playing, or yesterday when I was playing. I actually finished the Sith raid for the. I think that's the first time I've done that. I finished the end of it. Like it was, there was like
Okay.
point zero. This is not a
Yeah.
boost. It was like 0.03% health left or whatever. But the animation for Treya dying and falling into the pit of lava, it looks
Hmm.
so bad. It looks like fucking Doom 64 graphics. It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, guys,
What are you
it's
doing?
choppy as shit, super pixelated. Did you guys hire the
We,
art director from GoldenEye 64 to do this cutscene, or what's up? It's really bad.
maybe they need a raging Canadian to do the art. These Spaniards, they're not cutting it,
Yeah,
man.
got to get some Canadians up in here, man.
That's right.
But yeah, anyway, so that's happening. Who knows? Um, I don't know. Now, I do find the Q&As interesting because it's almost like you're reading these questions, but you're reading the questions within the questions or the answers within the answers. Like it's really not. They speak very politically, but if you, depending on how you interpret their response, it may tell you more than what they're actually saying. So I
Yeah.
kind of look forward to them, and I like reading them on the podcast. So
No, see, I don't
next
I
week,
don't watch them live. Do you watch them live,
no, I just
or do
read the
they?
transcripts
That's what I
after.
do too. Do they do any video stuff with with
I don't think
the Q and
so.
A's or no? Okay.
I don't really understand why it's live because it doesn't seem like they execute it in a live fashion, but
Right.
because they take the questions ahead of time and then they carefully word their responses from there. But
Yeah. Right.
anyway, I guess that's it for news. But how was your GAC? Let's talk about some GAC Grand Arena Championships.
I will say, and I'm gonna give you a little bit of props here. I feel so much more confident in GAC than I ever have after our come to Jesus moment that we had and replanning and whatnot. I feel like I actually like kind of know how to use the shit that I have, because I was just putting way too
Good.
much on defense, and I'm having a lot more fun with this part of the game than I have ever had before. I still think I put a little too much pressure on myself overall for GAC.
Hmm.
Like I think about it like sometimes like all night long, and then I wake up and I'm like stressed out about the attacks that I have to do.
Oh
But I
yeah.
still think like I have more in the arsenal to work with than I did before, because I was again throwing too much on defense. Um, I ended up overall, before I get into each round, I pulled off second place, which
Nice.
for the opponents that were in my little 8-person division, I thought was really great, because there were 4 in my division that were almost impossible for me to win against, but I only got matched up against one of them, and then I got I got a couple full clears, so that put me ahead on the banner count. So I thought that was pretty good. Second place on this one is not too bad. I
Nice.
also focused a lot on some of the pilot fleets, since, like I said before, I'm very fleet centric in my approach to the game. So I did finish off that one feat that was beat fleet arena thing without pulling any reinforcements. So I'm in a
Yeah,
fleet
that's
shard
impossible
chat,
or something
and
like that. Or
that's impossible even for a computer. So I got
yeah.
through all 3 phases of that, which is 9 wins with not pulling a
That's
reinforcement
crazy,
at
man.
all. And the only way really to do that is either to be pretty low or to drop a ton and work yourself up, or to be in a
Yeah.
fleet shard chat that is like flexible and willing to let you guys let you do it. So we just did some
Hmm.
trades here and there. I did a couple days where I refreshed once, dropped 50 crystals on it, but I'm like, it's kind of fun just to like get that done and out of the way.
Yeah.
And then today I was I didn't fall too much. Like usually I start my day falling from first to like 13, but I was still at like 7. So I was able to trade with a guy who was in 4th. We just basically put garbage in, and I got that win with 3 TIE fighters fielded, which gives you a portrait and a little bit of championship points and currency. So that was kind of fun.
Nice.
But I'll get into my matchups. Round 1, and like I said before, I join super quick usually, so I'm going to join later this next time, like for the new part 3, I guess, of all the rounds. I'm going to join tomorrow and see if I get some better matchups.
It gives you a little more
But
time too
my
to prepare.
plan,
You know,
yeah, I want to see if I can possibly get Ahsoka to gear 13 tomorrow. Like I'm willing to drop some crystals.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to pull it off though, because I'm 38 out of 50 on this one thing, and that's quite a bit. So I have to get really, really lucky on the
good
the
RNG.
node in fleets to really pull it off, and have a couple things in like stores. We'll see.
Yeah.
Basically at noon, I'm going to join no matter what.
Yeah.
So the first round, I had a opponent who had moderately good stuff. He was about 375,000 above me, but he had a lot of bloat. I checked mods on his like main teams, and they weren't really great. So I was pretty confident going in, and I saved everything for offense. I'm like, I know he can't beat my fleet, so I basically was like thinking that I could fully clear him pretty efficiently and get him stuck on my fleet, and I did. He couldn't beat my fleet.
Nice.
And that his is pretty trash too. I was able to like beat his fleet with getting like 62 banners or 61 banners. I think I pulled one reinforcement, and I almost didn't even need to. I only made one mistake against Night Sisters, the squad that I hate the most in the entire game. But I ended up making up for it a little bit later with an undermanned squad.
Why do you
I
gotta
won that
hate- why do you
one.
have to hate the Night Sisters?
They're good. I just hate them.
There's just some demonic skanks, and they're out trying to put plague on people. I mean, I don't get what the big deal is.
I don't know. Not
Very
for me.
versatile.
Even on my alt, I'm like, nah, I'm good.
I'm working on Docker. I'm farming Docker right now on the Brick Hard node alt. I'll get some Night Sisters. They're just too versatile, man. They're so good. They can get you out of a pinch pretty easily. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
I did like watching you beat that GG squad in Territory War with the Night Sisters.
Dude, they are
That
so
that
fun.
I'm into.
They consistently fight above their weight, you know?
Yeah.
Like they
Yep.
they can take out I take out fully relict Jedi Knight Revan teams. It takes like 4 minutes and 30 seconds most of the time, but
Yeah,
I
it's
can
a
take
long
out
battle.
It is. I can take out, fully relict Jedi Knight Revan teams.
Yeah.
GG. Geos are a breeze. I don't know. They're awesome. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, almost done with that round. I ended up winning that one 17-22 to 1279. So he
What was it,
also
Terry?
cleared almost my entire board but fleets, and he could not beat my geos. So I won that one 17-22 to 1279.
Nice. Good score, man.
How was your first round?
First round was tough. No, it wasn't.
I don't think it wasn't tough.
No, it wasn't. Overall, I went 2-1 as well. I did come in second. The first round, it was not difficult. They never attacked, so I won. Go figure.
I see. I never get opponents that don't attack. I hear
rarely
there's so many
do
people
either.
in our Grand Arena like channel on our Discord for our guild that are like, yeah, didn't attack again. This is so boring. I'm like, so boring. I wish my people wouldn't attack. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it does kind of suck though. Like I love the challenge of it,
Yeah.
I feel like really I'm not 2-1. I went 1-1,
Yeah.
I don't even really count it. But I guess I'll go into my second round and then you'll have
Sure.
a so I won this one 17-16 to 15-02. My opponent had a 5-star negotiator. Or no, I'm sorry, not negotiator. They had Grievous, Malevolence. They had a 5-star Malevolence, sorry. But they had really poor ship synergy with it. I think they just unlocked the capital ship and then just, I don't know, they just threw trash with it. Like they had Biggs,
Didn't know what to do with
IG
it.
2000, and Xanadu Blood. That was the opening 3. And then they reinforced with MILF and Ghost. I'm like, huh?
What? That's so
Very
stupid.
confusing.
The only one to put in there that like belongs there is IG 2000. Like he's good to have with the Malevolent, but the rest of them don't belong there.
Yeah, I don't know what they were doing there. Um, but I was kind of nervous because I thought that they were going to put Malevolence on offense, and I
Hmm.
didn't know. Truthfully, I shouldn't have been scared because if they were going to use those ships and reinforcements, I probably would have been fine.
But you're just
But
wasting MILF and Ghost, really,
that's true, yeah.
And
But
Malevolence does not hold up on defense very well either. So that's an odd choice.
yeah, I don't understand it. But I was able to take out their fleet easily with Thrawn and Geos, and they couldn't beat
Yeah,
my MILF squad, my home one fleet with
yeah.
MILF, which isn't great. I mean, they're pretty mediocre overall. But glad I got the win though. My opponent's arena team was really strong, so when I was scouting them, I was a little nervous because they had 4 out of 5 Padme relict. Like her Padme, their Padme team was 4 out of 5 fully relict, or not fully relic, but had relics anyway, which
Yeah.
I don't think I could beat if they put them on defense. So took advantage of that. Based on their GAC history, they normally didn't set their Padme on defense, which um, if if I were scouting myself, truthfully, I'd probably put Padme on defense because I really don't have a solid counter or can't counter it cleanly. Um, so I won that one. That was round 2. How was your round 2?
My round 2 was really tough, actually. When I pulled this guy, he was, even when I've looked at the matchups before I started the whole round, I was like, this guy's the hardest one in the entire group. I hope I don't get him. And I, of course, got him. And I was like, the only chance I have is to like maybe throw some shit that can confuse him and maybe trip him up on fleet. But it didn't work. He cleared me, even undermanned me. I made one mistake and I left Phoenix on the table. So I ended up losing that one 14-48 to 17-30. He was like top 50 arena, number 1 in fleet. So I was like, it's just not going to work. So I'll just take the L on
You
this
did,
guy. Try to get as many banners as I
yeah.
can.
On a positive note, though, that's not a very high score for somebody to clear you on. Anything
Yeah.
over
17-30
is clean. That's like basically a nearly perfect win. Not botching any in our bracket anyway. 1750 is like really good. One attempt on everything. Generally,
Yeah.
pretty good banner count overall. You're probably averaging somewhere in the 56 to 57 banner range. So on average,
Right.
But that's good. I mean, sounds like something might have stolen banners for you.
Yeah.
Probably your MILF.
Yeah.
What did you have?
Yeah, I
MILF
think
on
the
defense?
fleet. I did. Yeah, I think the fleet he probably lost some ships on because my fleet is very fast. So
Yeah,
it's kind of
That's real
overwhelming
good.
right at the beginning. So if you can't like take some hits, you're going to go down pretty quick.
Yeah.
Or at least lose a couple of ships, like if they're running a negotiator, like you might lose like Ahsoka. If you're running that in your first 3, you're going to keep Houndstooth running, and like Anakin's going to be wounded maybe, so it's a tough one to face.
Yeah.
On third round though, I looked at this guy and I was like, I'm kind of nervous because he's got a really deep roster. Like he's like an older player probably, and is one of those like collectors that has like a ton of gear 12s, not very many gear 13s. So I'm like, well,
Yeah.
he can probably clear me. He might not be able to be efficient at it, but he has no counters for Padme. Like he doesn't have Darth Revan. So he's going to have to go a couple times against my Padme. So I was like, I'm going to drop Padme on defense on this one. See how it does. And he played right into my hand. Like he did exactly what I was
Nice.
hoping he would. He
Isn't that the
went
best?
after my kind of weak front right in front of my fleet. I'm like, he can't beat my fleet either because he's got like kind of garbage geo ships as his fleet arena. So he one attempted both of the ones in front of the fleet, and then he tried 3 times against my my MILF fleet and took out 1 ship, I think, and then beat my Ewoks on the bottom, and then did 1 attempt and gave up and quit the game, I think. So I won that one 17-26 to 985.
Nice.
He did though. Like I had a little bit of a tough time on his defense because he put like basically all of his good stuff on defense, which is
Oh
what I
yeah.
used to do. He had a
Hmm.
pretty tough bounty hunter squad, which I beat with my JTR squad. I didn't get full banners because I lost some protection on resistance trooper, but I had everybody alive. He had CLS there too, which is stupid to have a CLS on defense, I think. Um, and that one was a little bit tough to beat, but I did with, I forget who I used to beat him. The problem I had though was with his fleet. He had a pretty good fleet on defense, a MILF defense that was super fast. I had only IG 2000 and 3 Vulture droids left with my Malevolence fleet. IG 2000 was down to 20% health and protection. And I was just at the point where I could release the ion cannon. So I dropped that. I stunned his home one. And then I was able to bring in Geo Soldier and just go to town. But it was like I was skimming it. Like I almost lost that fleet
Yeah.
battle. So
It's exciting though. When you do get the win,
yeah.
you're like, whew.
Well, there was
Dodged a
4
bullet
enemy
there.
ships in front of me against my 20% health IG 2000. But once you like
Yeah.
drop the ion cannon on them, they can't do anything.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool, man. You ended 2-1. That's solid.
2-1's not
That's a
bad.
solid.
Yeah.
It's a nice thing to
I'll
build
take
off
second.
of, and
I'll take silver.
heck yeah.
How was your last
My
round?
round 3, I lost 1700 even to 1741. So we both cleared each other. I started off really good. I started off really efficient. I was averaging 58.2 banners through my first 5 attempts.
That's
So
good.
I was doing really, really good. I was feeling good about it. And then I got too cute with it. I just fucked up. So just for clarification or context, I guess, my opponent was really strong. Was probably the strongest opponent in the entire GAC bracket that I would have to face.
And
And
that's your championship, right? Going for
championship,
first
yep,
place.
yep. And they had won twice previously, up to that point. So we were both 2-0 going into this match. I knew based on I looked at their GAC history, that they were a high banner output player. You know, and
Yeah.
in their most recent round, they're putting up like well over 1700, over 1740, I think. You know, consistently
Wow.
every round. So, and
That's
they were
crazy.
saving everything for offense, everything. You know, their
Mhm.
defense was trash. I mean, they did have some okay stuff in there, some, stuff you can't really take lightly, but for the most part, very offensive heavy. So I tried to get cute with it, and so I was averaging 58 banners, and then I failed on a Year 12 Old Republic team.
Yeah, they're tough.
I tried to get cute and throw in 3 Night Sisters, just a random. I had all my Night Sisters available, which I could have easily just demolished this team. But I used Daka, Zombie, and Talzin lead, and I couldn't beat him. Just I thought that Talzin's plague would have. I got a couple characters. I got Karth down to like 10% with plague just on the opening salvo, but
Yeah.
it wasn't enough. They, with all the regeneration and health and protection regeneration that team allows for, it just didn't happen. So
Yeah.
had to use a cleanup squad, which sucks because automatically you're just taking a lot off of your banner count. So that was one thing. But where I'm really kind of perplexed still up to this point. Um, the fleet that they put on defense, they had a home one fleet, and it was only 280,000 GP. So I don't think they had very good reinforcements, and I really underestimated it. I went in with what did I go in with? I went in with my home one. I went in with my home one with like limited reinforcements. I tried to get too cute with it. I saw the
Yeah.
the GP limit on there, or the GP listed, and it was only 280,000. It's like I can trash this, no problem. Home One's my best fleet. I have MILF.
Yeah.
They're not great by any means, but they just wasted me. Like I lost big super quickly, and then they just started working their way through. Um, Houndstooth went down quickly, and then
Hmm.
I lost. I had to use a cleanup squad with Geos, and that gave me a 1700 score. And 1741 is a decent score. I wouldn't say it's a great score, considering the amount of offense my opponent took. Um, but I did put on some pretty tough defense for this round. Like I kind of beefed it up. Like I put Grievous on defense, and I also put my Geos on defense, which
Yeah.
going for the strategy that the Gambit guys recommended wasn't really fully adhering to that principle. I went a little more defense heavy than I think. But really, if I went backwards, like if I went back in time, I don't think I really would have changed much, because it's not like those teams would have helped me on offense. I should have got fleets in one attempt. I don't know what happened there. I still don't understand it, because they had a Gear 12 MILF, but it was just like hitting like a Mack truck. Like they had two, Gear 12 pilots.
They weren't
But
they
they were
weren't Gear
just
13 or
wrecking.
Relict. Hmm.
No. They just.
Did you check
I
the
mean, my big.
check the mods on Han and Chewie?
I didn't.
Okay.
I should have. I under.
'Cause
I
some of
mean,
those
9 times out of 10,
some of these
I can
guys
take them
like
out.
yeah, some of these guys like to put like really sneaky ones in so that you underman like you did.
Right. I think
And
I fell into their
they've got
trap.
like god mods on all the pilots, and they just go crazy. If you get like the U-wings in there, it's nuts. It's so
They
hard to
did.
beat.
They started with I think with Cassian or Biston. I'm not sure. And that Biston was hitting hard too, and like granting tons of assists. And I don't know, even if I went in with my full Home One fleet, if the outcome would have been different. But I'm
Yeah,
remedying that. It is a weakness I have, but
those ones are tough for me to beat too, because like they'll bring Houndstooth in as a reinforcement like second, the way the speed is set up. So like you'll get Cassian, you'll get MILF, you'll get Biggs, Phantom will come in, and then you got it kind of figured out, and then Houndstooth comes in. It's like, well, I'm fucked now. Like I can't do anything.
yeah. It was disappointing. I mean, definitely a disappointing way to end it. I mean, I came in second still, which was good. I was expecting to be lower GP overall, and like get fourth or something, even though I went 2-1. But I had a strong opponent, so my hats off to them. They got a good win. And
Yeah.
I mean, a bright spot out of it was that I did get 61 banners using a 3-man JTR team against they had a Rogue One, like 80,000 GP Rogue One team on defense.
Okay.
And I was able to 3-man it with JTR, BB-8, and Finn, and got 61 banners, which was cool.
That's pretty cool.
Because that's where I've kind of struggled, is like how to get additional banners. Anything over 60 is great. So
Yeah.
over 60, hit 60 or above. I mean, you're doing really good. So that's
Yeah.
kind of where I struggled. My cat won't shut the fuck up. I don't know what she needs. Sorry.
She wants to be heard and listened to.
I guess so. She's tired of being down in the basement and hearing me talk about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. But
Maybe.
The one thing like about this round that I already know. I mean, it's already exposing a weakness that I've been working on for a long time, and quite frankly, I'm a little surprised that it hasn't come up more in Grand Arena, but because it's fleets. Fleets are kind of a weakness for me. My home one's not great. I haven't invested in my home one fleet very much. I think Chewie is still like gear 10 or 11.
Yeah.
And Han's only gear 12. But that's as far as I'm taking the team. I'm not investing in it anymore, but I have been working on farming malevolence, and I'm close. I think I'm like 30. want to say 30 shards away from unlocking,
Yeah.
which I think I should be able to get. I have a little bit of a storage saved up after this TV. Hopefully I can get. Hopefully I can unlock. But I have pretty strong geos to go along and decent houndstooth, and um, I'm looking forward to getting another potent fleet, especially on
Yeah.
offense, which that's going to fill that need perfectly. I already have a. Shut the fuck up! Come here. What are you crying about? I'm trying to do a podcast here.
It's one loud pussy, man. You don't want to use
loud.
you don't want to use Houndstooth in that fleet though until you have it at 7 stars. Like it's kind of
okay.
useless. Yeah.
I just assumed that it was dark side and a solid tank that it would, but that will make my home one potent, so that's fine.
That's what I'm saying. Like I messed around with it for a little bit, and I was like, this is not going to work. And it's actually better for me to keep Houndstooth with my home one fleet, anyways. You just gotta get Hyena Bomber and Vulture Droid.
Yeah, I don't have them worked up very much, but I'll work on them. I mean,
yeah, that's going to be a side farm
focus.
you got to do is get those guys going, because without those two, the fleet's kind of trash.
Yeah,
you don't want to be the guy that's running, Malevolence with Biggs and Ghost.
Right. We saw how well that went.
Yeah.
But we'll come back next. We just the join periods up again for this Grand Arena. So hope to.
My plan is to join by join by noon tomorrow, and it will be like not right before everybody's waiting till the end to do their upgrades, kind of middle of the road, and see if my matchups are different.
I think I typically join after the morning shit is done. After I do all my dailies in the morning and I've expended all of my. Or maybe I'll wait because I don't want to cut too close. I don't want to forget. But
yeah,
couldn't hurt to set a timer.
You might see me in Mysticus tomorrow because I'm trying to use my crystals only for fleet energy because I want to get Ahsoka to gear 13.
Yeah. Well,
we'll see.
You're gonna get that strike, bro. You're gonna get that strike emoji.
That's fine.
All right. How about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes events on the calendar? You have anything?
I do. On the 22nd, we have marquee events for Grief Karga and Cara Dune. They're actually not on the calendar, but I'm just going to assume they're there. We have Military Might on the 22nd, Territory War on the 23rd, Admiral's Maneuver, which is the Holdo one, on the 23rd, Training Droid Smuggling on the 24th, Places of Power on the 25th. We got the Mythic BB-8 event on the 25th as well. Home one on the 26th.
Did I mention?
That's pretty much it.
Okay. As far as assault battles go, did I mention I succeeded on the Night Sister assault battle? I got challenged tier 1.
No? Yeah. I don't think you did.
I guess. Do you want to hear about it? It'd be quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Night Sister's your favorite faction.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom while you talk about this, so I don't have to hear any of it. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, we're almost done. It'll be quick. So I had previously struggled. I talked about it before. Actually, I think when we had the Gambit podcast guys on, I was talking about how I had botched my attempts at the challenge tier for the Night Sister event.
Yeah.
Or is it Rebels too? Night Sister? I forget the name of it.
It's Night Sisters and Phoenix, I think.
Okay. It's the one where you have to fight Sidious, and then the final wave is against Nihilus.
Yep.
I ended up watching a video about it on YouTube. I forget the guy's name, but it's kind of a walkthrough of how to do it. And it was for the challenge tier 2. And I had met all of the requirements that this guy had. I mean, maybe had a relic level less or 2 here and there, but for the most part, I had the team. It was just about modding. So I tweaked my mods a little bit with Daka, and I gave her crit avoidance on her health arrow, or instead of a health arrow, I put crit avoidance on there. and they just really beefed up her health quite a bit because that's what's crucial. Going into the fourth wave, you need Daka alive, and then you need some good RNG. You need Talia to have a high turn meter so that she can, I think, heal the team or debuff. I forget. Do something to assist you. But it worked. I tried about 3 or 4 times, and that was it. Because previously I had experimented, like I gave Daka all health. I just gave her tons of health, and even on the arrow, and it just was not working. Like I just couldn't get her to survive. But the crit avoidance was clutch. The crit avoidance that was a game changer. So after 4 attempts, I was able to get it. So I got challenge tier 1 done. I didn't go into 2 because 1 was hard enough. I wasn't going to sit there and spend another fucking hour or 2 trying to get challenge tier 2 completed. So that was cool. I didn't really think that was in sight for me, but just going on YouTube and learning about it. I just typed in the name of the event, and there were some really good, helpful videos. So that was sweet. Definitely need that gear.
My big mod win of the week was realizing that I can use the same mods on different characters in territory battles. Like I've always heard, like, make sure you're checking your mods. So like when I went into phase 2 with the Grand Galactic Republic only one, I had to beef up my Ahsoka. She was like 30 GP short of like qualifying for the thing, so I had to move a mod around. It's like I'm going to pull this mod off of Chewbacca, but I still want to use him because I have my light side battle I want to use him in for my OG Rebels or whatever. So I put Chewie's mod onto Ahsoka, which added like 10 speed onto her. It was a 9. She had a 9, and this is a 19 speed. So that boosted that squad a ton. And when I was done with it, I was able to put that same mod back onto Chewie and use it when I was battling with my OG Rebels. So that was pretty great. I didn't know you could do that.
Oh, nice. That is cool. That makes sense.
I thought once they were assigned to a squad and you use that squad, I thought they were shot. But Jansen was like, I'm 99.9% sure that you can use the same mod on multiple characters. And I was like, cool, I'm gonna go with it. If it doesn't work, whatever. Like I think I can still beat one wave of that battle anyways. And I was able to move it and still do it. So pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, as long as you remember to put it back on, there's really no downside.
Well, I also like took that mod off of Chewie now, and it's now on Ahsoka because I use Ahsoka in squad now, and I don't use Chewie in squad. So
yeah,
I need to work that one mod because I put a 5 dot mod onto Chewie where he did have a 6 dot mod, and I want to have him have that 6 dot mod just for the MILF speed. So I'm going to finish that one up and get that the 6 dot so I get the speed boost again. But that's not too hard.
Random question: do you have for your Han Solo, what arrow stat primary do you have on it?
I think speed.
Okay. I was just listening to the Gambit podcast, and they had a question about that, and they both have offense on.
Okay.
Like they were asking about like arrows, like what the difference is, or what are characters in the game that an arrow primary doesn't have to be speed, and that's one of the characters that they suggested, which is cool because there's so many characters that need a speed primary, and Han I guess doesn't really need speed. He shoots first.
Not really. Yeah.
Obviously, but thought that was interesting. And I mean, boosts his damage output. If you have a 6E mod on that, what 8.5% offense? That's huge.
Yeah, exactly.
Even harder,
Interesting.
But,
I'll have to look for that. I only have one decent offense primary that's a crit chance mod, which is what I use on Han Solo. And it's got a 16 speed secondary.
See, that's not too bad. You're not even losing.
It's not bad.
That much speed, 16 speed.
It is on. It is on Spy though, so I don't know. I want Spy to have that heavy offense.
Yeah.
Oh no.
What about next segment? Star Wars in general. You've been consuming anything?
Yeah,
Star Wars in general related.
We're gonna review season 2 right now, right, of the Clone Wars.
Not right now. Yeah, I apologize for that. We were planning on having Jacob from the Spice Den podcast on to discuss season 2 of the Clone Wars, but I just didn't have enough time to get it
Cool.
done.
You had to stain some picnic
hours.
tables.
My
It's a
wife
lot of.
decided that the Trump bucks needed to go to lawn furniture, apparently. So, and somebody's got to assemble and paint that, and that was me. But
Did you get your Trump bucks?
yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah, it was just
We have not
my
gotten
wife
ours
set
yet
it up.
because we don't have the direct deposit thing set up because we normally owe because we have a business. So
Gotcha.
we have to wait for the paper check to arrive.
I have no idea how that even worked. My wife just was like, "Yeah, we got our money," and I then I just see Amazon shipments showing up. I'm like, "What? What's this?
Perfect.
What's this shit? What the fuck is this?" All
Well,
right,
we needed
I guess
this.
I know what I'm gonna do. But I mean,
Mr. Hardmeat, we need this.
Right. There's 22 episodes, and I did the math, and that is like it's over 9 hours of stuff. So.
There's
but I've been
of the 22, there's about 6 good ones in that season.
Okay.
Episodes
That
1 through
sucks,
4.
man.
Episode 12. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I too have been watching it. Obviously, I'm like 4 episodes in, I think, but it's reminding me a lot of season 1. Like, there's some good episodes. There's some just kind of all right. That was an episode, I guess. I don't know.
If you see or hear Clovis, just go to the next episode. You don't need to watch it.
I can't do that. I can't do that to give an accurate representation of my thoughts of this podcast, of this show.
I guess. Though I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but season 7, episode whatever the last one was, 9. I can't keep track of numbers. Was a really, really fucking good episode of the Clone Wars. Like one of the best of the entire series.
Well, it's good to know that 30 now, probably 50 hours from now of Clone Wars content, I'll get to watch that. That's good to know.
At this rate, we're going to review season 7 in December of 2021. I'm just playing. Take your time,
dude. It's a lot. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
It
is a lot.
My kid is young. That's hard. It's hard for me to find time away. And I tried watching an episode with him. Like, I got up early. He woke up early one day, and I tried to watch Clone Wars with him. It was actually a terrifying episode. Like, there was a Rodian getting tortured by Cad Bane, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
he wasn't into it. He was like leaning into me. He's like kind of blocking his eyes. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll shut this off. But he's like, I want to watch Titipo or some other Korean-made animated show about trains. That's apparently that's all Netflix has on it. If you're not, it doesn't sound like you're animated train woke enough to understand.
I'm not. I'm not.
Korean, it's specifically Korean. Korean animated train woke enough.
Do you have time to watch any shows with Mrs. Hardmeat that aren't Star Wars related? You guys watch shows together?
Lately we've been like during dinner, we've been watching stuff. We just finished a show called Unbelievable on Netflix.
Okay.
Which is really
I have a recommendation.
Yeah.
I think it's FX or Hulu, maybe both. What They Do in the Shadows. Have you seen that yet?
No.
So it's a comedy, very, very weird, but it's basically these vampires who are all living together in a house, and it's kind of like a reality style, like The Office almost. Them living as vampires together. And it's great. I think it'd be right up your alley. I don't know if Mrs. Hardmeat would like it, but I think you would. So
she loves The Office, so
yeah, it's super weird, but like very funny, dry humor.
Oh, it sounds.
They just started season 2 over the last couple of weeks. So season 1's pretty short. It's like 6 or 8 episodes, and then the next one is going to be a little bit longer.
We'll have to check that out next. We just started tonight, actually, a show called oh man, I want to say it's called like Successors, maybe. Hulu has a thing with HBO, like a Succession.
Succession. Yeah,
Yeah, and it is fucking hilarious. It's
I've heard really
Adam
good things
McKay.
about it.
Yeah, Adam McKay directed it. The guy who did like Anchorman and the Big,
Yeah.
or no, not the Big Sick. I mean everything. Tons of great
Yeah.
comedy. He was a writer on SNL forever. The Big Short. He did The Big Short.
Okay.
But it's semi-serious, but also has like a really good comedic tone. And
Yeah.
Will Ferrell is a producer on it too, and like I don't know, it's been really good so far. But yeah, HBO right now, I think they're doing like a COVID-19 exclusive where they're having a bunch of their stuff on HBO for free or on
For free,
Hulu
yeah.
for free. So
Yep.
like you can watch The Sopranos and The Wire. So, like The Wire's, yeah, you want to block off 90 hours of your life for the greatest show in television history, apparently.
You can watch
Or not
seasons
Loki's
1 through 6 of fucking I can't even think of it. Never mind. Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Game
Don't
of Thrones
watch
isn't on there.
season 7 or 8.
There's not much.
It's not?
Yeah, I know.
Really?
No, there's not a whole lot of HBO stuff on there, but
Okay.
I don't know.
But what we
Well,
do in the
that's it.
shadows, check it out.
What we do in the shadows, I will check it out.
Season
Thanks
2 of the
a
Clone
lot
Wars is
for-
going to be your primary homework, though.
Oh yeah.
And then
I
secondary,
yeah.
you know, if you need
I
something
gotta
to watch
chip
with
away
Mrs.
at it.
Hardmeat.
Also, work has been crazy, surprisingly enough, with having, being shut down for all this shit. It's just I
What
just
is work?
have way less time than I anticipated, but I'm gonna get it done Monday of next week. We're talking about Clone Wars, and hopefully Jacob of
if
the
you-
Spiced In podcast can be available.
I was going to say, if you don't, it's going to be me and Jacob on Galaxy of Beers
Right.
next week, and you're gonna set the week out in the penalty box.
I'm gonna tune in like halfway through. I'm done, guys. I just finished.
We're done. We already finished the full synopsis. So,
Well,
all right,
as
that's
always,
it.
Thank you all for listening. Appreciate it.
If you are in Michigan, check out the Rockford Brewing Company, and don't drink and hyperdrive. Yeah. Ending stream.